Hey, Snow Creek Homestead. Well, it's cold outside, colder than well digger signed in, and we got to talk about deep bedding for your livestock. What's deep bedding? So this is inside where I overwinter my goats, kiko goats, Kiko. They're a tough goat, no hoof trimming, great motherability, uh, just great meat goats. So that's what we raise here. Our numbers are down. I've had as many as 40 breeding does, and you know that's pushing my limitations here. But we're down to 20. I really called hard, and I got other projects I'm trying to get rolling here on the homestead that I'll talk to you about some other time. But I want to talk to you about some deep bedding. I was getting ready to come in. This is my round bell feeder I made. It's stuck in the ground right now, about 16 inches deep. When I start kicking the hay around so I could get the door closed so I could drag this thing out. Now there's definitely dust in here, no doubt about it. But when I started digging in here, it's already composting and creating a lot of heat. All the poo and the urine, stuff like that. I can literally feel the heat big time. I don't know if you can see any of it yet. Steaming. But it is cold out. It's in well, it's flurrying outside right now. So I'm guessing it's in the low 30s. But right there is definite heat. So why do you want this? Why do you want this deep bedding? Well, again, we're composting. So if we're composting, we are actually creating a microclimate, I guess you'd call it, on the ground, where these does can kid in here. Phew, you can smell. But these does can kid on this deep bedding, and you got your own heat source, because we've had kids, Indiana, it was in the between 5 and 10 below zero in February, and they're having kids in here. They're having kids out on the dry lot, which is no good. We'll cover some kidding issues when it gets closer, and I'll show you the things I try to do. I've just learned over the years. So you really feel the heat. So if I can get this deep bedding here, all of a sudden we got heat. If we got heat, we have thriving kids. So what we're going to do is I'll like to talk to you about my hay feeder, but I need to get it up out of this, and I'm going to move it back about where the camera's sitting, because you know in the spring I come in, I clean this out. I think I showed some videos on that, on the grapple on front of my tractor and such. But right now this is as deep as I want it, so I'm going to move it back about 20 feet, and then we'll start putting round bells in the feeder, and whatever they lose and whatever, they're trying to always ruin your hay on you, so right now everything's out on pasture. We talked about that in other videos. So things are out daily on pasture, and pasture's getting pretty raggedy now, pretty rough, and they're actually in the woods, so they're kind of vacuuming leaves and things like that. But if we can get this moved, and I'm just going to show you what I do on a daily, one of the daily things I might do, which is not moving this feeder, but it's just something you may do on a homestead. But I'm always in here checking on my does, trying to make good husbandry. So I'll show you when I get this out of here what it looks like, and then we'll talk about a little more about this bedding. I'm gonna hit the pause button here. Okay, now I got it up out of the ground. I can get my forks in it, and we'll put a strap around it, and we'll move it over here to this new location. So we'll show you some of that. Cut the wrap, the netting off the round bales. It's nylon. Livestock don't eat that. So we need to get that off there, then we'll set this bale in the feeder. Alright, we just dropped the round bale in the feeder, and we want to talk about this feeder a bit. It's a round bale feeder. It'll hold about probably close to 1,200 pound round bale. These are about 1,000 pounds. So this is the feeder, and then this will try to keep the goats from wasting so much hay. So we'll do a video on this feeder sometime. That's as they eat it, I got actually goat panels, which is smaller than cattle panels, and as they eat that round bale, I put a bungee cords on it, and it kind of eats it smaller and smaller. And I got a gate. So we put the gate on it. And then we're ready to feed. So again, they're out in pasture, and a round bale will last at least a week. If they're on pasture quite a bit, it'll last longer than a week. I'll say this, for a goat and his kid, you need one round bale per animal a year. So if you got, and a round bale needs to weigh at least 1,000 pounds. So if you got 20 head of goats, you're going to need 20 round bales to get you through the winter. What's the winter? Good question, right? The winter is probably sometime December to sometime in, I don't know, beginning of April. You could start putting them on a little early, but it's so green and lush that I try to ease them on pasture. So I'll still have a round bale in to mix the lush green with the dry hay. So I know if people's got sheep, it's close to the same. I would at least do 1,000 pounds per head and go from there. That'd be a good starter point for you. So hey, I just want to show you some of the stuff we're doing on the homestead. On cold days, you still got to get out. So this is Snail Creek Homestead out. Keep growing that food.